Every time there's a presidential election, we'll sometimes hear, "I've had it. I'm moving to another country." Okay, let's say you're serious. What should you know before you swap your citizenship? Joining us is our friend Ted Jenkin, the co-founder of Oxygen Financial here in Atlanta. So Ted, this is the question, right? If you've heard your friends say it, your family, "I'm getting out of the U.S." What should you consider before making the move to another country?
It's so funny, Faith. Everyone says that. I'm moving out of the country. But I think, like any move that you make, you have to consider lots of options. Like, you're going to move to a city or you're going to move to the coast. What about the culture, the weather, and especially in another country, it may be the language. Do you have children? You may need to check out the education system. Most importantly, make sure you look into the healthcare system because it may not be quite like the United States. Can you work for your company? Can you work remote, or are you going to get a new job? These are all considerations people have to make.
It's a lot of considerations. It would be a very big move. Here's a question for you, Ted. What are the most popular destinations for expats, and why are they so popular?
Well, the biggest one by far that I hear from people is moving to Portugal. It seems to me the most popular one on everybody's list. Of course, Ecuador, Mexico, Canada, and Singapore are other locations, but Portugal is big for two reasons. Number one, the education system. The cost for a college education in Portugal is about $1,200 a year, and you think about people that are dying in student debt right now, so that's a big save in money. And Portugal was ranked out of 191 countries to be the 12th best healthcare system. It's not only free to people that are citizens there, but also to foreigners as well, or low cost. So all of those make it very attractive beyond the temperate climate.
Now, are there any tax implications if you want to move to another country here, Ted?
Faith, this is the big gotcha, right? If you live abroad, you're still required to report a tax return in the United States, even if your income is made in another country. But there is something a lot of people don't know about called the foreign earned income exclusion. And it means in 2025, if you make roughly $130,000 or less and you have physical presence, you live outside of the United States 330 out of the 365 days, you pay no tax at all. That's one of the reasons that people move abroad, especially you see a lot of school teachers live in another country.
That is a very popular destination or job for moving out of the country. Here's another question for you, Ted. For those who are considering moving, is it better to become a resident or consider becoming an actual citizen of that country?
Well, most people will go down the path of considering becoming a resident, and becoming a resident might lead you around the path for dual citizenship. But look, every country has different rules. Some countries may require that you make an investment in the country, like you own a piece of real estate. Some may require that you have a bank account in the country. Some require, Faith, that you take a blood test. So these are all things that you may have to consider for residency and ultimately citizenship. But there are a lot of people that are expats that have a dual citizenship right now. Decisions are very difficult. I recommend getting a good tax advisor and a good consultant, especially if you're not moving to one of the popular countries like Portugal.
A lot of planning if you do plan to move out of the country because of the election or just because you want to get a different life experience outside of the country. Ted Jenkin, the CEO and founder of Oxygen Financial. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ted.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Faith.